What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Just Be Show. Oh my goodness. So, as you can see, my bro right here, Mr. Just Be, I'm so grateful for you with this platform and just providing an amazing, place for us to introduce this segment again,
Yeah, yeah.
times three, which is Conversations of Greatness. And we have a really good one today. And this subject, it is one of those things that has impacted so many of our lives in some way or the other. And even people like recently Tamar Braxton, um, Kanye West, and we're going to bring up some others on this segment that have been going through changes with the subject mental illness. And again, it's a heavy one because it's definitely serious. And one of those things that used to be a stigma, just hide it. You know what I mean? Put it under the carpet.
Yeah.
Let us not bring it to the forefront. Keep the crazy ones in the house. You know what I'm saying? Type of deal.
Yeah, for real.
But it's definitely been hitting the headlines hard, and I thought it would be time to address it on this segment. So,
Yeah,
welcome,
yeah,
y'all.
for real. Yo, welcome, y'all. Y'all heard it. Welcome to the Just B Show, yo. We going live. It's your boy Just B. It's my sister Shanta Gibson, yo. Like she said, yo, mental awareness is definitely important. You feel me? There's so many people in the world that's unstable mentally,
Yeah,
and there's so many people in the world that's unstable mentally and have no idea that it's really a mental trauma that you're going through,
yeah,
and it can stem from so many different things, guys. We're talking about anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts. It's so many things, yo. It goes so much deeper than what you see on the surface. On the surface. So, like Sister said, welcome to the Just Be Show. This particular episode of Conversation of Greatness is focused around mental awareness, yo. So, I mean, it's sis gonna lead this one. So, do your thing, sis.
for sure. First of all, that intro was bomb. First of all, that's a new intro. I love it. First of all, I had
Yeah.
to say that to my bro and give him kudos for just all the amazing things that he does with this platform. And I just love your platform, your show. I'm here in support of you. And I just love the fact that we collaborate. You know what I'm saying? And we have these different shows that are informative for our public and for our viewers. And it's necessary, bro. It's necessary. So I thought it would be great for me to start and kind of tell my own personal tragedies or situations with mental illness. I have a recent situation with a relative. I'm not going to say who and put that out there, but they had a recent bout with mental illness, and it was due to a drug, and it definitely set them off mentally. So what it did was threw their equilibrium off, and it kind of just threw them off kilter. When they took this drug or partook of that drug, it threw their mind completely unstable. Um and we saw the effects of it right away. I thought maybe perhaps this person was going through some unique changes, but it began to unfold even on social media where their patterns of behavior were different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I want to point that out because there are certain signs of mental illness too. You know what I mean? And I didn't know that this person was going through that, but they start to kind of unravel.
Right.
And some of the things that they were saying on social media was not the normal them. I was like, oh, I don't think that's the normal them. So I started kind of peeking in then. And then as the days unfolded, it got worse and worse and worse. They began to go up and down the street yelling and screaming, started threatening their neighbors. And not only was it the drug itself also still in their system, but also it was mental instability. When you are bold and you threaten someone's life, not understanding the danger in that, you know what I'm saying? That's a problem. And there's something wrong. So as the days unfolded more, they just it got worse and worse and worse to the point where There was violence. They busted someone's window out of their car. They stole cars. Um, and it's like this person was not aware of what they were doing. It was they were just mentally unstable, and the police was called several times to their location, and they eventually end up putting this person in a mental institution. Um, so this is one of my immediate family members, and it's heartbreaking because as a family member looking in, you feel really, really helpless. You want to reach out to them and be of support, but you don't know what kind of support to give because there's constant changes. So, one of the signs I believe of mental illness is that a person is constantly going through ups and downs emotionally. And they're also taking you on that emotional roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? One minute they're this way, and then it extremely changes like within a matter of minutes.
Right.
That's a sign that something is wrong. You know what I mean? That their behavior patterns is off, or that their mood is extreme, on extreme happiness all the way down to extreme lows where they're emotional. And this person also talked about how they were hallucinating and seeing things that were not really there. And that's another sign that I knew that something was wrong. That the hallucination, like, they were imagining things and saying things and accusing of this or that, and it just wasn't real. It was something that in their mind made sense, but everybody else was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
That's not what happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's a mental illness, basically, in a nutshell. It's a very confusing state of mind. It's a very confusing state of mind, and it is hard from a standpoint of someone that knows someone that's mentally ill to even fathom or wrap their brains around what they're going through. You know what I mean?
Right.
And some of these mental ill patients are going in and out of mental instability. They're going in and out of it. Like, one minute they're good and it sounds like they're making sense. And then the next, the rambling and the talking and the things that are coming out of their mouth is completely just left field. And you're like, whoa. So,
Yeah.
I can say it from experience. It's a hard thing to deal with. And I can understand why people have kind of pushed mental illness under the carpet and said, we don't want to deal with that. Just leave them in the cage. You know what I mean? Leave them trapped up. I don't want to deal with that. Give them a pill. You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah.
pill don't always help.
Yeah, I definitely feel you because especially being out here in Vegas, yo, you see so many homeless people that's walking around, and I'm sure their mental instability it came a lot from drugs and alcohol abuse, which is still a drug,
Yeah.
So you'll see them walking around talking to themselves, or they'll be on. I've seen people have been right in front of people, and like you said, it's a lot of ups and downs. You'll be talking to them, and they'll be the most positive person in the world. The next thing you know, they trying to bite my face off.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand that. Yo, y'all gotta pay attention. Like it's when you're out here and you're abusing these drugs, and I'm not even gonna be a hypocrite and say don't do drugs, you know. But yo, if when you abuse things, when you abuse the drugs, it will create imbalance in the chemistry and your mental, yo. Like, so you guys definitely have to be aware. Most definitely. Hold on, let me say one of these comments real quick. Deonica Chanel says mental health is definitely scary. It's more than what you see. Mental health looks like nothing is wrong, and that's very true. That's very true,
That's
Deonica.
facts.
That hands
Facts.
down, yeah, that's facts for
Mhm.
reals. It can be man,
It's
it
a
can be
lot.
such a horrible thing. Yeah, it's definitely a lot. And sis, like, you mentioned that you had an immediate family that was going through some mental health issues or whatnot, and I just want to let you know that me and my team, you definitely in our prayers, and I really do hope that he or she does overcome it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it sucks that it had to go as far as it did, with
Right.
being sent to an institution or whatever it may be. Because I don't exactly agree with mental hospitals and things like that. I'm not the kind
Well,
of guy. Oh, go ahead.
the thing is, they're there in support of the situations because you have to have a medical professional, involved in this. There's no way that they can come back to themselves without being evaluated and trying to find out what that imbalance is, where it's coming from, why they feel the way they feel. So they're necessary, right? They're necessary, but this is the problem. Some of the mental institutions don't necessarily prescribe the correct drugs. They don't analyze and make the right type of decisions
Right.
when it comes to these ones. Like, I felt like my relative needs extensive therapy over time.
Right.
And what happens is they put him in there for 7 days, then they're back out, and the problem has not been addressed. Some of these mental ill patients are dealing with their past,
Yeah.
and problems that may have existed. So unless you get to the root of the problem, what I mean, it's not going to be resolved. And a medical professional only knows what they see in front of them, not what you had in your history. Or we can treat the wounds from, being molested or this or that. We can treat those wounds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't know that. They don't know that. They only know what came in.
True, true. Well, how do you feel about them actually using substances, drugs, and pills and things of that sort to kind of dilute it or to calm a person down? Do because my thought process on it is okay. I guess I understand, but at the same time, it's like um how will you forever with this person have to forever be on this drug? What do you think? What's
Right.
your thoughts on it?
Like I said, the number one problem. I'm not a medical professional by any
Right.
means, so I don't want people to take it wrong and be like, "Oh, she thinks she knows what she's talking about." No, I actually
Right.
don't. But I just know it from the standpoint of experiencing it through a family member. So I can come from it from that standpoint and actually understand the effects of it at least. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That right there, like I said, I think a lot of people are being misdiagnosed. I think that they're using the wrong things to treat these issues. You know what I'm saying? Even you got to understand, you got to be good at what you do as a medical professional to understand what it is you need to give that patient to calm the situation or to put them on an even kill or whatever. You got to diagnose it correctly from
Right.
jump, and a lot of that's not happening. That's not happening. So they're sending these. They're there for a little while. They're sending them back on the street. You know what I'm saying? Because they can only hold them for a certain length of time, depending on what kind of insurance you have or if you have it at all. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It's a lot of problems to it, and when you send these people back on the street and you haven't really addressed the issue at hand or given them the correct diagnosis or the correct drug to handle the situation, then it doesn't go away. It escalates the problem.
Right. I definitely
Because
feel you
my
there.
relative, once they
Mm-hmm.
stayed in the first facility, they got out and it was still in their system. Whatever it was, that 7 days didn't relieve the problem. You know what I mean? So
Right.
they got out, went back to whatever, and it just it escalated worse until the point where they got jailed.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
And
Eh, Oh, my
go
bad. Let me
ahead.
let me Neonica also says, I've suffered with mental health issues for years. I remember crying to my mother asking her to get me help, telling her I think I'm bipolar. After the second time of me being in an institution which did not help me, they just released me because I sounded okay. Instead of giving me help, she said I'm okay. We have a lot of that in our community. Yo, big ups to you, Nini,
For her
for even being
transparency.
for even being brave enough to say that. I wish you would click on the link that I sent you. I would love to bring you on the show so that we can hear your point of view, and so that the audience can hear your point of view as well. That'd be super dope. I did send you the link to your Facebook Messenger. If you need some assistance, just let me know, and we'll get you on. We'll love to have you on the show. That's pretty dope. But again, that thanks for your transparency because it's gonna help a
Oh,
lot of
thank you.
people. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
everybody is not open to talk about their experiences, but you obviously are. That's super dope.
And there are different levels of conditions. Some people are bipolar, some are manically depressed, some of them have different, things that they're going through. My relative, I believe, because of and due to childhood memories
Mm-hmm.
that they never healed from. You understand? They could be okay for a season and then it just comes back out. Something happens that just they never resolved what was going on from childhood situations, and
Yeah,
and
I'm
I just
guilty of
think
that.
it. Yeah, we gotta face it, and if you don't have the proper environment to face your demons and issues, then it could escalate into other things and come out in other ways, you know um whether you're, instead of you just responding to something in a normal way or whatever, you explode. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because that issue, there's triggers for people. There are triggers that trigger you mentally as well. Like I remember, just to give you an example, one of my exes mentally abused me. Okay, just mental abuse, and that is one of my triggers. Like, don't talk to me crazy because you might get hurt. Honestly, that's one of my triggers. That's one of my triggers in life. Like, I don't like mentally being abused. I don't like the mental aspect of somebody putting you down or tearing you down with their mouth. That right there is it strikes a nerve for me. You know what I'm saying? And it's because of the memory of what I felt like when I was being abused. I felt like a little kid or being belittled, like I wasn't worthy of feeling like I was a human being.
Mm-hmm.
And that feeling doesn't go away. There are triggers, you understand? And when people come at me a certain way, calm that down because you don't know what I've been through. You understand?
Pump your brakes.
Right. That's why I like to, do things, listen to soft music, chill out, mellow myself out, because there are certain triggers, honey, and people have them. People have these triggers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether it's a memory that escalates, the emotion, whether it's situations, it causes you to kind of respond in a certain way.
Right.
Now, I kind of want to talk about the situation with Tamar Braxton. First of all, we want to continue our prayers for her as she is going through her transition with her recent mental illness bout that took place. From what the details I found out is that
Mm-hmm.
she actually was going through some stuff because of the network that she was a part of.
Mm.
And also, not only that, she also had been dealing with mental illness issues as well. It wasn't just the network stuff. She had been having different bouts of depression and
Right.
stuff like that. And you were saying that depression is a part of, that leads to mental illness. Depression is
Yeah.
one real big part of, what I'm saying, these emotional ups
Yeah.
and
It's a
downs and
it's a
stuff like
form
that.
of it. It's a form of
Right,
mental illness. Yeah.
right.
Depression will mess you
She
up.
she almost killed herself.
Mm.
She almost killed herself. Like, if her boyfriend would not have found her when he did, it would be a different outcome. And I know her again as a family member. I just kept thinking about the family too. I thought about Tamar Braxton, but I kept thinking about the family. How much heartache it is from that standpoint, because I am that relative too. I am them. I am Tony Braxton. I am her mother. I am them. You
Right.
understand? And when you have a family member that's in trouble, it's heartbreaking for you.
Right. I can definitely
And
agree there.
it puts you in a position of vulnerability. You don't know what to do or how to help. And you just want to hold them. You understand? You want to hold them through the process, and holding them ain't gonna necessarily fix the problem.
Right. Yo, for anybody and everybody that's watching, again, thank you from myself and my sister, Shanta Gibson, for tuning in, yo. Right now, This particular episode of Conversations of Greatness is about mental awareness. We're on a segment to talk about Tamar Braxton and the things that she's going through, the different situations. So what I need from everybody, if all the viewers, if you're a current viewer, like present right now, or if you're viewing this on the replay, we would like you guys to, if you do have a family member that's going through some mental trauma, some mental health awareness, suicidal thoughts, anxiety, depression, whatever it may be, in the comments below, I just want you to write the words "I got you." Just write that. I got you. So we can know that you don't have to put your business out there, any of that. Just put down in the comments, I got you. And I want you to always tell your family member that's going through these type of changes and these traumas and everything. Just let them know, I got you. Hold them. I got you. Listen, I got you. Just be there and be aware, guys. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there, sis.
No, that's good. That's good. We wanna support others, especially, that's one of those things you don't really put on the table or talk about or put out in the open.
Right,
When I was homeless a couple of years ago, I thought I was gonna lose it. Like I didn't know how we kept it together besides, reaching deep somewhere to try to, pull ourselves together. And I felt like it was only God that kept us through that, and kept me from losing my mind at a time where things were just rough in my life. You know
right,
what I'm saying? So it's one of them things that I'm telling you, it has been in my family for years, and it's one of them things you don't want to talk about. Let's, just keep them in
right.
hiding. Like you don't want
What?
to bring that to the forefront because it's a very personal issue.
True. What are some things that because I know you've dealt with it firsthand. So what are some things that you use to help the individual cope with what was happening from a family member standpoint?
I let me tell you what happened recently. I got a call from somebody and they were suicidal.
Mm, that's the worst.
Okay, at that very moment, they were suicidal. And when they were talking to me, they basically stated, "Hey, I feel like hurting myself, and I wanted to call you because I just wanted to let you know how I was feeling." And I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Listen," I said, "first of all, I said you need to calm down." And when that type of call is coming in, you have to show compassion, and you gotta have a soft voice. You understand?
Right.
Because you have to kind of talk them off of a ledge. Like if
Mm-hmm.
somebody was about to walk off and just, throw themselves on the ground, you got to talk them back off that ledge. So it's kind of like I had to use a soft voice. I had to offer them support and let them know that I was there for them. This person I know personally, so I told him, "Hey, go in there right now." I said, "Put on your favorite mellow, chilled music. Just go
Right.
jump in the tub, take a shower, and just," I said, "let the water hit your body. Just let it soothe. You know what I'm saying? Soothe you.
Right.
Just let it soothe you right now." And that's the advice that I offered them, and they accepted it and they took it. And then they called me back, after the fact and let me know that they were okay. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to talk somebody off of an actual ledge, and it's not easy. And I've seen situations on social media where people were having suicidal thoughts, and I've reached out to them in their inbox,
Mm-hmm.
just to talk to them and be of support and a listening ear. Because sometimes people just need what you call that, a neutral person to speak with that has nothing to do with being a relative or a friend. You're just neutral out of nowhere,
Right.
and you're offering common sense of advice that will help them at that moment.
Yeah,
Um,
that was big help for me. You know, my I can't say I was in full blown mental illness,
mhm,
but I can say that I was suffering with anxiety and depression pretty heavy. But I wouldn't tell people about it. I wouldn't even
right,
let it come out on my social media because I always try to keep this facade as I'm this super positive person always. But we
right,
all go through things. So during that time, and it kind of blew my mind because I was a motivational speaker when I was just doing Just Be Speaks before I became all of this other amazing stuff, But I
Right.
started off with writing poems, and somebody actually heard one of my poems, and a part of it was like, as I walk up to this mountain, this edge is surely it, and I'm pretty much letting them know like I'm about to fucking jump.
Right.
You feel me? Like,
Yeah, that was
not,
coming out in the
yeah,
poem. Mhm.
not in a literal form, but it was almost like saying I was giving up. I didn't know how to deal with it, and somebody heard it, and I was amazed that they caught on to the metaphor of it, and they reached out. That,
Mm,
yeah, they
mm,
reached out,
mm,
and the person that reached out was actually somebody else that was suicidal, like at the
right.
moment, and it blew
Right.
my mind. But it was for the simple fact that they weren't biased about the situation. They were going through it themselves, so they understood. And then we realized quickly, like, shoot, we can help each other.
Right.
Like, let's take a step back and let's try to figure it out, and let's help each other. So I definitely agree with you there. It's a shoulder to cry on, you know,
Right.
whatever it may be, guys. For you out there, like, just try to find the signs, pay attention. If it's something that you're going through yourself, find somebody that will listen. I know it's hard. Shanta knows it's hard. I know it's hard. Leonica
Ooh.
knows it's hard. We all know it's hard, and but it's possible to make it through it. It's possible to be a survivor of depression and any kind of mental illness. There's definitely
Right.
possibility you will come out on top. Like my sister said, when she was going through her times of homelessness and things of that sort, that shit will drive you crazy. It will drive you crazy, especially when you go from being here to you're not even in the
A
picture
different.
anymore.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
You're not even in
Exactly.
the picture anymore. That can be stressful when you go from being super popular to nobody even looking your way anymore. Certain things in life that was validation for you, that helps you cope, and it's no longer there. Broken relationships, whether it's a love relationship or it's not. All of these things, a loss of a job, all of these things can be
Mhm.
detrimental to your mental state. So just always remember to look out, pay attention, watch out, and be in search of help, for real, for real.
And I
And,
think right now in this season we're in, especially with the quarantine and things that are going on with the coronavirus and the emotional changes that everybody are going through, with people losing jobs, and it just this right here is one of those times where, when you think people are their strongest, reach out to them,
for real.
because most likely somebody is going through something. They're just putting on a strong front. We all need each other. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We all need each other in this time, and it's not simple. It's not easy at all. But we gotta, especially us as a platform, we gotta make sure that we do our part to put the information out on the world and be informative, about what's going on, and lend some support. You know what I'm saying? Even if
Yeah.
you gotta call us anonymous, you know what I mean? Just don't take matters into your own hands. If you having thoughts of suicide or emotional instability, do not take that into your own hands. Speak to someone. Call the hotlines. There are hotlines available for that. I just sent you, um, Mr. Co-host, just me. I just sent you a hotline number that we can post, up for everybody, a
Alrighty.
mental abuse hotline. We want to provide information and be there, for information. Now, I want to talk about Mr. Kanye West, the recent bout of mental illness for him. And I will say, from what I have seen over the years of his career, he has not been necessarily right since the death of his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know that he was very close to his mom, and he has had different situations that have happened right before our eyes. The time that he was on stage with Taylor Swift and he started talking a little crazy and off and yelling and stuff like that at an award show.
Right. Like,
I don't know if you remember that, but he is definitely one. As creative as he is, he's unstable. You know what I mean? As creative, and most mentally ill people are highly genius.
I was just about to say that. I've noticed that most people that deal with mental instability or they're like geniuses.
They're smart. They're probably straight A students. Smart as a whip, can create just from nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Most mentally, and I'm not calling myself that. Let me go on it. Put that out there. But when I found out, I will say this. I will say this about myself. When I found out what the meaning of ADHD was, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I got some symptoms of that.
What
You know
is
what
it?
I
Break it
mean?
down. Give us the short
um,
version.
Basically, the short version is your mind is rushing faster than what you can, you know what I'm saying, grab.
Right.
Like your mind is just always rushing.
Ooh, I probably got ADHD. For
So
real.
when I figured out that that was one of the symptoms, I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? I ain't never took nothing or been diagnosed or none of that, but I was like, I probably was a little ADHD. And my father, there was a season of his life where he was drug addicted.
Mm-hmm.
So some of my relatives were affected by that. Let's talk about that. Like it goes through the seed. You understand? It goes through genetic seed. So some are predisposed because of what their parents partook of.
Right. Yeah.
You
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
yeah. Hey, let me tell you, man. I have. I ain't gonna put my family out there like that, but it is what it is. This is a conversations of greatness. This is not a to take people down. It's
No.
to lift people up to create awareness. So, um, I know some people, who parents were on drugs when they had them,
Mm-hmm.
and now those people are. I mean, not all. Let me say that. Not all are having mental issues or they're mental. They're not stable, but a lot of them are. And
Yeah.
like you said, it stems from way back from the roots. Like if your foundation was jacked up, 9 times out of 10, unless I don't know, but when it go through the grapevine, it is what it is. It's something that
Mm-hmm.
at times you don't have control over because someone else's decisions affected your current life, right now, and it's not necessarily your problem, but it's your
Yeah.
problem to deal with.
Right. Just to give you an example, and this has been no secret, so I can put this out there. I adopted my little brother, who is my father's child with another mom.
Hmm.
The mom was alcoholic and drug addict, but my dad was too. So my little brother came in with fetal alcohol syndrome
Hmm.
and also with hyperactivity and stuff like that from the drugs. It was all in his system. He was born that way. Like you know how a child is born with the shakes and they got all this stuff in their system from their parent. Now
Yeah.
they test for that. When a child is born, they actually test for that in the hospital to
Okay.
see if there's drugs in their system. They've been doing that for years. They don't even let the parents know that they're testing them, but they look for certain things to just see, what is in their system. You can see if a child from tests that are run from blood tests if a child is born cocaine addicted, you know what I'm saying, with too much weed in the system. Weed is even one.
Is it
Alcohol,
really?
fetal alcohol syndrome is definitely one.
I didn't
You know what I'm
know that
saying?
marijuana was one.
Oh yeah. People think that it's safe. I mean, people think that it's safe to smoke that, but no, not necessarily.
Right.
So
Hey, all my weed
especially
heads, I need y'all to tap in.
right.
We need some
Stop,
info.
stop, stop smoking. Stop smoking. Especially them early months.
Oh,
Them early months is when it's most crucial because the child is not even developed all the way yet. Especially when
right.
the child is being in them developmental stages in the in the uterus, man,
Mm-hmm.
that's the wrong time to be smoking crack.
Right. It's
I'm
not
just
funny,
saying,
but
bro.
it's the way she
It's
said it,
not.
y'all.
I'm just saying, like, I'm keeping
No,
it
that's
real.
that's true though. So ladies, and fellas, yo, like if you know that you have an addiction to anything, you know what I mean? Be aware of that when you going out here and you just laying down with anybody. You feel me? Like
Yep.
y'all got to be aware of that because they say what we do has an impact on everybody else. You feel me? So if you're laying down to have a child or to, if you're not even laying down to have a child and it just happens, yo, you got to be aware of what's you're transferring that energy.
Yes.
So if you're high off of coke or heroin or what's meth, I don't know all the names, but weed, alcohol, whatever it may be, you have to be conscious of that because just know that it's gonna have an effect on your child, yo. It
Yeah, for
doesn't make
real.
sense for kids to be born addicted to some damn cocaine or addicted to meth. That has to be the most selfish shit I've ever heard of. You feel me? Like that's
Right.
that's
And
that's a damn shame.
they can I tell the effects of what it did to my little brother?
Break it down.
Um he had issues with hyperactivity. We couldn't control him when he was coming up. Like he was a behavioral situation, if you know what I mean. And
Mm-hmm.
also he had mental issues. Also retaining information was a problem.
Mm.
Um Another thing is you could tell it was extreme mood. It was also he was bipolar,
Mm.
extreme mood swings. So when I was raising him, I didn't know that all this happened. I'm a young mama, got my other kids, right? And I'm
Right.
like, whoo, I can't have my little brother in the system. It ain't gonna work,
Right.
bruh, bruh. They didn't tell me. You understand?
To the
They didn't tell
extreme
me
it
that
was,
all
huh?
of this was the pre-exposure of alcohol, that this did that to him and messed him up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then there were abandonment issues. There was a lot of stuff I was dealing with. And as he got to be a teenager, he started running away from home. He
Sheesh.
started, every time I would look up, the police was at my door about something. And it's all because of the pre exposure of what was crossed through his bloodline in pregnancy from
Right.
both parents.
Damn. He had a
Yeah,
double whammy.
so double, double. And so when you think you just whatever, no, you messing these kids up. You're messing them up. Still having problems today, still as an adult. You
As an adult.
understand? Yeah,
Yeah.
as an
Yeah.
adult. So, and it's no secret. I can put that out there because everyone knows that I adopted him as my son. You understand?
Right.
Here I am thinking I am rescuing a child with these issues from the system. And what they needed to do was rescue me. You
Right. That's
understand?
that's crazy. No, I had a family member like that.
Yeah.
Both
So,
both parents were on drugs and then he was born and then you can immediately tell that something was wrong. You
yeah.
feel me? Like he would do stuff like dang, I can't exactly put it out there cuz people going to be mad like a motherfucker. But
Right.
he was just behaving in a way where it was violent.
Yeah.
And it
Impulsive,
was
impulsive,
yeah.
just behaviors like random,
Right.
impulsive,
And the
and there
sad
was a lot of time. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
and the sad part about it is I can't for sure say this and be I'm not confident to say this is a fact, but um when okay, just say you got both parents on drugs, then they have sex, and then they give birth to the child, and that child is already addicted to these drugs.
Yeah.
So
Come in addicted.
it's in their system. It's part of their DNA. And then if you guys know this answer, but what happens if that person who is now born with it eventually over time they have a baby? Is their bad baby already got it in their DNA? If
That's a
that's the
question.
case, yeah, if that's the case, like you just created by your one mistake, you created a whole generations to come to have these issues, yo. That's selfish. That's
Right.
selfish, yo. Learn how to have self love for yourself so that you don't have to put these kind of stresses, these kind of weights on the generations to come.
Right, right,
That's
right.
insane. That's insane. And it's
Back to Kanye West though, you saw the recent um conference that he had, and he was mouthing off some strange things.
mm-hmm.
And everybody was like, "I'm out of here," because they knew he was unstable. He was visually unstable at that particular conference that he did leading up to his campaign for president. And
Oh, I
that's
seen
another
that one.
thing. That's another thing. Mental ill people feel like they can do whatever. They
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like a inhuman, or I can't describe this. I'm trying to find the words to describe this. They feel like they can do whatever they want to do
Without
because
repercussions.
right, right. That's another sign of mental illness. Like I'm sorry to say this, y'all, for those that are Trump supporters, but that bro is mentally ill.
I mean, let's talk about it. We already on
I'm putting it
here.
I'm putting it out there.
We already
I
on here.
you know why I say that? Because y'all remember when he made that statement about injecting your um veins with a cleaning agent to clear out the coronavirus. Okay, well, those are thoughts that I would think you would keep to yourself, right? If you're thinking of something like that.
Right. And be like, I ain't gonna tell nobody that, or think of it like it's funny. But he told the world this.
A mentally unstable person would put that out there to the world. You know what I'm saying? First of all, your thoughts are real messed up. First of all. And then secondly, you put it out to the world and say that you got some issues, bruh. You got
Yeah.
some issues. I don't mean to call our president bruh. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, you
Hey,
got
ain't
some
no telling
issues.
what he call us. Yeah, but I mean, in any time a person could tell you to inject cleaning solutions into your system to cure a virus, you feel me? Like he can be
Something
called bruh.
wrong.
He can be called
Something is
bruh.
wrong. Something is wrong because a common sense person that thinks logically will say
Hmm.
in their minds, okay, if I put bleach in my system, it is going to destroy my organs.
Right.
Okay, why would there be warning labels on these products? You understand? If they wouldn't harm your body, it poisons your system. So in
Right.
my mind, if you feel that that is your logical thought process, then you need to be evaluated.
Right. Right. I
I'm
mean,
just
they
putting it
don't
out
do they
there.
do evaluations before they um well, I forgot what it's called, but when they, sign you into actually being a president, like they don't do them kind of
um,
evaluations. I don't
I'm
know,
not
man.
sure.
Any
I'm not
some of the
sure what
things
they
that
do.
yeah, some of the things that this man says is like it makes you uncomfortable as the people. Like, hold up.
Right.
This is who is
Well,
leading us
well,
in
I mean, before he got in that position, there were things and signs. There were things that he
right.
was doing disrespect to humankind, different races, women. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just right now.
Right.
Um, but again, because see, I think that he got in from the popular vote.
It was a popular vote.
Yeah, because people that admire his shows and
He
see
snuck
him
his
and
ass in
is a
there.
fan. I don't know if it was that. I'm trying to really keep this 100, and
I
you over here.
No, I feel you, but I mean it's out there. You feel me? And we're talking about mental awareness. So he snuck his ass in the presidency straight up.
Well,
Like I don't.
in his mind he felt like he could. It didn't matter what people think of him, and
Yeah,
that's the aspect about mental illness that it's kind of like they feel like they're a superhuman being.
yeah,
You understand? So to me, our president needs to be evaluated. And
right,
no one's pointing that part out. I think that, you know, people just saying now, that's just him. No, we need to really look into that a little deeper. Bro got some issues mentally.
right.
Um,
Yo, for all the Trump supporters out there, let me just say this: this is a Just Be show. You feel me?
right.
It's all about positivity. It's all about being able to speak your mind freely. if it's positive. You know, if you want to have negative things to say it to your friends. Don't say it in my post. Don't say it in my comment sections. Yes, you can speak freely. But if you have something to say to us personally, you can inbox us and say whatever you need to say. If you do
Right.
post and if you do post anything negative, so be it. You post it, it's gonna get deleted. You know, we're not necessarily saying anything negative about Trump himself. He is our 45th
No.
president, whether we like it
Mm-mm.
or not. Whether we like it or not, he is our 45th president. You know,
I am
um,
actually associating the subject matter with some of the effects of mental illness. And when I
exactly.
think about that statement about injecting your veins with cleaning agent to clear out the coronavirus, that is a
Right.
mental mentally unstable statement.
Right. That statement was not right.
I'm
You
just
know, it
saying.
was a little bent out of shape, y'all. You
Right,
know.
that's a little crazy, far fetched. I'm saying, who the hell says that?
No, for real. That's pretty crazy, man.
And I'm telling the people, listen, some actually listened and went and tried it. So let me tell you this. Go read the labels, bruh. Go read the labels for yourself at what these chemicals do to your body. Don't follow somebody that's thrown off. Go read the labels for yourself. So for people that's watching, go to your kitchen right now, go under the cabinet and look at the effects of cleaning agents and what it does. And you're not supposed to ingest it in no kind of way, whether it's drinking it, putting it in your veins, shooting it up from somewhere. You ain't supposed to do it. Period. So I mean, we keep our kids away from chemicals, right? When they're little babies and they're exploring, we get out of there. You know what I mean?
right. Yo,
Get out of there. You
Deonica
can.
says, pray for him, y'all. We want him to succeed because the country is in this man's hands.
Facts.
That's
Facts.
true. You know what I mean? But if
I
he
was
got
just
bleach in his system, he
right.
ain't gonna succeed. It is what it
Something
is.
wrong. Or you
It
telling
is
people
what.
to put bleach in their system. One of the
Yo,
two.
y'all, yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. That's insane, yo. So, I mean, to kind of push forward on the topic, man, that's crazy. That's
It's the truth. Y'all Google it. Google it for yourself. I'm not just
yeah,
saying this out of left field.
true.
I'm not
I
it's not even a put down for the president of the United States. It's not. It's
right.
not.
Yeah,
Like,
because if we would have went on social media or wherever and said that, people would be like, "Yo, something wrong with you."
right.
Like you ain't thinking straight, brother. You
Right.
feel me?
I can't give that kind of advice.
Yeah, no, hands down. They gonna be like, oh, Jess B, Shanti, Queen G, y'all need to go. Y'all offer every network y'all trying to
Right.
be on. We ain't got time for you, so we get it. How do you feel about um mental health in the black community? This has been like a
Mm.
big topic all over social media lately, so I kind of just want to touch bases on it. What's your thoughts on,
Well,
mental health in the black community?
I think that they can no longer ignore, or push it away. That's what I was trying to say in a nutshell earlier. That the
Mm-hmm.
stigma of mental illness was kind of pushed in the corner, and people did not want to address it. Um, but in the African American community now, people are it's in the forefront for all of us, and they're saying, listen, it is okay to sit down and talk to a psychologist. They even have scenes like that in films now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's okay to sit down and or realize that maybe perhaps something is wrong. Let me go get checked. Let me check myself in. Oh, another thing is you can check yourself into a regular hospital if you're feeling thrown off.
Okay,
And they
that's good to
call it
know.
yeah, they you can go to a regular hospital and be evaluated for mental instability. If you feel like you're suicidal or feel
Mm-hmm.
like you want to hurt yourself or anything like that, you can go check yourself into a regular hospital. So I
Right.
wanted to put that out there too. These are all facts that you don't know unless you're kind of like on the inside and dealing with things like that. I've raised it, been a relative of it. It's been in my family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So go ahead. But I think it's important that we we address it in the African American community.
Yeah, because I know they
You know what
always
I
try to,
mean?
black folks always try to be so strong about everything, which is understandable. We the strongest. I feel like we're the strongest race on earth. You feel me? We come from
Hmm.
a different kind of strength. One hands
Right.
down, we come from a different kind of strength, yo. But it's a lot of black people tend to try to hide that part. That they're going through mental traumas and stuff like that, y'all. Black people, we still people. Yeah, we black,
Hmm.
but we still people. You got to be open to it. You got to be. One thing that I've noticed about the black community, and this is just my opinion, but it's hard for us to be vulnerable. One of my boys, this was more towards the men, but one of my boys, BJ Williams, big shout out to you, BJ. He started a trend, and it's can I be vulnerable? But it's towards men, you know. But I feel like that's for men and women. It's especially for the black community. Feel free to be vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable in order to get the results that you're looking for, in order to correct some things that we tend to steer away from. We know that mental health is in the black community and it's in there heavy. And a lot of it
Right.
comes from alcohol and drugs. It is what it is. Let's talk about it. But
Yeah. Put
it's
it on the
okay for
table.
that. Yeah, it's okay for
Mm.
therapy, yo. It's definitely okay to go to therapy. It's okay to see a therapist. It's okay to reach out and call these suicide hotlines. You may not feel like all of them are there to help you, but somebody there is to help.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
here. Jess B is here. Shanta Gibbs, Queen G is here. It's so many people that's out here to help, yo. We just gotta open up and get it popping. Hold on, let me see.
Right.
Somebody
Right.
says Dr. Brene Brown, The Power of Vulnerability. Yo, 100. You can check out that. You can check out BJ Williams with Can I Be Vulnerable on all social media platforms. It's real. We have to be able to open up and talk about it, yo. You feel me? We got to
Talk.
stop waiting until somebody dies or somebody gets a knee
Right.
pressed on their neck too long to get out here and talk about it. If we got to protest about it, we got to do what we got to do. We got
Can
to
I
do what we
say
got to
this
do.
one last final statement?
Of course.
I just being a parent of someone that is affected by predisposed issues from alcohol and drugs, you can't beat it out of them. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because I thought that spanking would help or would calm the behavior down from it. But it's mental. It's not something that is gonna go away. You know what I'm saying? With a belt.
Right. Yeah.
So that's me as a African American mother when I should have been taking him to a mental institution to receive assistance to get him stable. He needed medication to focus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I always was against it. I was against it. That's the stigma too in the African
Mm-hmm.
American family. We feel like, oh, I ain't finna put my baby on no drugs. You know
That's
what
so
I'm
real. That's so
saying?
real. I'm gonna whoop his ass. He gonna get it
I'm gonna
right.
whoop him. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought I was gonna be able to beat this out of him.
Yeah. Or give it
But
some other
no.
name. We give it a name. Call it something else and like ain't nothing wrong with him. He just whoop or he just whoop
Yeah.
or he just this and he
Right.
just that. Yo, no, something wrong. You got to look
Yeah.
deeper. You got to look deeper
Hmm.
into it, man, or you just gonna be stuck. You gonna be stuck, yo. So
Mental
again,
illness
yo,
has
feel
a
free.
way of mental illness has a way of surfacing. Trust. So
Oh,
if you try
always.
if you ignore it or try to push it down or don't address it, it will come to the forefront. I'm
Yeah.
here to tell you, and a lot of our mental ill patients are in jail right now. So put that on your brain before we jump off of here. You know that instead of gelling these people, you need to medicate them and you need to diagnose and you need to evaluate them. And some of them need counseling. A
Right.
lot of our mental ill people are in jail and prison.
Right. Where they don't even have a chance to get past it.
Right.
You
Facts.
feel me? For real, for real. Like we had Leland when we had Leland on the last conversations greatness doing prison reform, yo. He tells you like you got when you in there, you got to stay focused beyond measures, like beyond the normal focus, and it's hard because you're institutionalized and it's if you're dealing with depression, then you go to prison. you depressed
Right.
forever. At that point, like,
It
those aren't
never
facts, but it
it
carries
never gets
on.
fixed.
Yeah.
It never. That's the problem. You never come up with a solution because you're constantly pushing the issues down and under. You're constantly pushing them away. So
Right.
nothing is ever addressed. It just piles up. It piles up. And before
Right.
you know it, some mental ill person has even murdered somebody
Yeah.
because that is the way that they are lashing out or the way that they are dealing with their problems or whatever. They're committing
Mm-hmm.
crimes. Most of our crime, you know, um, people or people that commit crimes are mentally ill.
Right. Let me read a couple of these comments, man. DJ Flawless, yo, big shout out to you, boy. That was my homie. He was on the show. Big up to you, DJ. He said
Nowadays.
nowadays kids need that ass whoop though. Hey, you ain't never lie. You got to get that belt and wax them. You feel me? And a lot of other cultures don't believe in whoopings, but it works. I used to get my ass whooped on the regular when I was being bad, and it definitely works. So stop letting your kids get
Time
away with
out.
shit.
Time out ain't for everybody. Time out ain't
Yeah,
for
it's
everybody.
right. You go put your nose in a corner. What? I'm gonna walk off when I was little. My nose in a corner. I'm out of here. But if you hit me across that ass with that belt, I might sit still though. You feel me? Because you
Right.
got to get past the. You got to get past that
Right.
feeling. You got to get past that feeling for sure.
Woo.
Um, Neonica jumped on here. She said we was talking about mental illnesses and people that get institutionalized, and she said my brother is one of them. Let me I gotta speak up on that. Neonica is my sister. You feel me? So the brother she talking about, that's my little brother too. Um he we and I kind of feel bad now that I'm thinking about it, but we gave it what we told him was is that he's free spirited. Oh no, ain't nothing wrong with him, he's just free spirited. But that free spirit turned south real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And now my little dude's sitting in prison. You feel me? And I feel like him.
Prison.
Yeah, I feel like
Mm.
him going to prison is not a good thing because I feel like he just needed some help. He just needed somebody to really sit down and talk to. Now, even though he was one of those people that it's hard, you talk to him, he gonna act like everything's fine. Hands down, he is gonna act like everything is fine, like he's good to go. But then when you really stop looking at it at face value and you dig down deep into him, then you realize like something's wrong. You feel me? He's been through something ain't right. And now that he's locked up, all we can do is be there for him spiritually. Or,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we can go visit, but he's one of them people that he makes it hard for you to really be there for him, internally.
Well,
He's
can I say this too? A
mhm.
lot of mental illness people are high functioning.
Man, for
Let's let's
real.
let's let's deal with that. Like just like they say, alcoholics. There
Hmm.
are alcoholics that function in a regular world. If you have repetitive motion that you have to do day to day, today to day, you can
Right.
function being alcoholic. You can function being mentally ill because that's a repetitive motion that you have to do every single day. And in
Hmm.
your mind, you don't really have to think about it. You just do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So a lot of mentally ill people are high functioning. That's why they came up with the term going postal. Before, people start going into their companies and taking out folks,
Right.
they're sitting right next to their coworker that's looking up at them like, I want to take you out of here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They taking out the whole, you know what I'm saying,
Like
office.
going, oh man, high five. Boom. It's just you be like,
Right, like, you know
what?
what I'm saying? And
Hold
they
up.
they are there with them every single day. That's what's so shocking about it. They're there
Yeah.
with them every single day and don't know no different.
Yeah.
High
That's great.
functioning. A lot of mentally ill people are very, very, very high functioning. You would
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah, for real, man. For real. That last part about my
So
brother kind of got me a little bit. My bad.
no, you're
But yeah,
fine.
yeah, I'm not embarrassed about it or anything. All it did was it just kind of opened my eyes. I'm glad we had this conversation. I didn't expect Nene to bring it up. Damn, sis. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna reach out to him and and see how I can help them in the most way. What I can't do
Right.
is like we said, we gotta give them a ear to listen and a shoulder to cry on. I am one of those people that he was able to open up to, so I'm definitely gonna reach out
Right.
and try to help him as best as I can, even though I'm pissed at him right now. But
We do, but we have to speak on the effects of mental illness. We have to speak on that. That is a very it's something that it's vulnerable. You understand? I mean, I've been placed in a vulnerable situation just from having relatives that go through it. So we gotta put that on the table.
yeah,
We gotta be honest. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're not honest, people are not gonna recognize what it looks like or the signs of how to better be of assistance to our relatives when they go through it. You know what I'm saying? So it's important. I know it's hard for me, bro. I haven't talked about raising my little brother in so long,
right,
but it's necessary so
right.
that people can see the signs of what this looks like. What does a fetal alcohol syndrome baby look like?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? How does a drug addicted child act later on in their life? It doesn't come out till later on in their behaviors or when they get in school and they can't control them. The teachers can't control them and they tearing up whole classrooms. I've been at my little brother's school so many times.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah, I feel
saying?
crazy.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Right. Let me throw this comment up there. DJ Flawless says, "I think people with mental illness is a choice, but at the same time, Satan will use whatever he can to destroy you."
Facts. Some, but I don't. The only thing I don't agree with flawless is that it's a choice. No one, I don't think, chooses to do that or be that way.
Right. To be mentally ill. Yeah, I don't agree with that
Yeah,
part either.
I don't think anyone would ever because it's not a comfortable thing. It it
Mm-hmm.
it it messes up your life. It destroys your life. And I don't think anyone, if they were in their right mind, would want their life to be destroyed from this issue that they have. You understand?
Right.
You're
Yeah.
judged. You're judged. You're looked at a certain way, and it's not comfortable. It destroys your life. You're on a roll, everything is perfect, and then all of a sudden, boom, this issue comes in and just turns your entire life around.
Right. Now I feel like not doing something about it is a choice.
That's
You feel
yeah.
me? Especially if you
That's
recognize
mm-hmm.
it. If but only if you recognize it, because if you don't know what it is, if you don't have the knowledge to understand what it is, then you don't even know to do something about it. You don't know to seek help. You feel me? So
And
yeah,
that's
I
what we're
definitely
doing today. We're just laying our cards on the table and saying that these are some of the signs of it. If you recognize this in someone,
right.
you know, talk to them and then try to help them to seek help because a lot of people don't know that they're walking around like that. He said, "Well, I'm insane and
Well, I'm
everyone loves
insane
me."
and everyone loves me. LOL. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, big dog, and I'm being dead ass serious. Do you love you? I need to know that. Answer that for me. Appreciate you. Anywho, and not to sign them off. You feel me? Not even, but this is one of those situations where we serious.
Yeah,
It just is
yeah,
what it
for
is.
real.
You still my
Yeah,
boy. You still my boy, DJ Flawless, 100%. But yeah, we're just gonna leave it at
we
that.
trying
But
to
I
we
need
trying to get that knowledge out there to the people about what this does
yo
and how it
for real, for
affects
real.
our lives day to day. And that's why I put those cards on the table and was vulnerable. You're vulnerable today. We're just letting it out so that perhaps someone could get help for this
Right,
issue. And we're African American. You
right.
know what I'm saying?
For real, for real. Yo, but this has been a super dope conversation, sis. But I want to know what you've been up to lately and what you've been up to lately and what you got going on.
Oh my God. So, wow. Thank you. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
released my third edition of Let's Go to Work ENT magazine. That's it right there. I'm about to drop a special edition for the series Faces of Rap Mothers. And I also one of my interviews just appeared on Roku, and I am joining with the MJ network that will also, my Queen G Live Experience show will be on that network also, which is on Roku. So it's a lot of exciting things going on. Me and my team are working really, really hard, and we're grinding. I just came out with two more books. One is a children's book called Majestic Mermaid. The other book is called Peas to Success. So it's been active this year. This whole year has been active.
Yo, Queen, you always doing the
So
most. Yo, I'm super excited about that one down there. That Queen G Live Experience, y'all, on the Roku platform. Like, who does that? She does that.
wow, it's exciting because we're starting the work for it. Like I'm
Yeah,
starting to send them the what they call it, the content, and
right.
it is oh, it's so real. She converted one of my little clips and turned it
Uh huh.
into show format. I was like, oh, that's nice. Woo!
Oh, that's dope. I might need to.
Yeah,
How much that service cost?
right. I'm telling you, I am
Nah,
gearing
that's
up and getting
dope.
so excited. And we're gonna be featuring also Faces of Rap Mothers in this new up and coming special edition. I'm talking with other companies like Vague Ringtone out in Las Vegas, to see
Nice.
if they would like a special edition done. So I got that brand. This is a branding magazine, marketing and branding magazine.
Nice, nice, nice. Yo, Queen G, you always doing the most. I love it,
Yeah.
yo. As far as me, what do I got coming up, y'all? Um, what's up, y'all? It's Just B. Um, oh, so as far as the Just Be show is concerned, I got a few series that's coming up. I have a series coming up with my boy Brandon Ward. Y'all know that's my boy. It's gonna be called Game, yo. Growing and motivating entrepreneurs, yo. That's gonna be super, super dope. I'll have more details on that one for you guys soon. And starting this Friday, I'm not sure. Maybe you guys remember. I interviewed Miss Juneteenth Nevada and Miss Juneteenth Las Vegas. So Miss Juneteenth, Nevada, which is my little young phenom little chick. This young lady is super dope, Anaya Brown. Starting this Friday, we're doing a series called Civil Discourse with Anaya Brown. The very first show, guys, is Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. You don't want to miss this, yo. You don't want to miss it. And me and Queen G has a special series coming up real soon. I ain't gonna tell y'all about it. I ain't even gonna mention too much about it, but just know that it's coming. It involves me, her, and another young lady, and hopefully everything goes well. All I can say is we going city to city, y'all. It's gonna be super big, super great. We gonna do great things with it. Queen, if you got your last little shout out or something you want to say to the people, more than welcome to
Well,
go ahead and do that.
I'm excited. I'm excited about episode one getting on the platform of Red Table Talk. That's a big thing that happened this past couple of weeks. We're excited. Episode one of Conversation of Greatness landed on Red Table Talk, the platform. So we were like, yay. Um, Also, just follow me on Queen G Live Experience. I have a lot of shows that are coming up, and I've been talking about different things like turning your pain into purpose, things like what happens in the creative process of a project. You know what I mean? Just tidbits that are really, really helpful, especially when you're an entrepreneur. So definitely tune into the Queen D Live Experience. I am on live probably almost every day. So
Every day.
yeah, my
Every
shows are
day.
at 8 a.m. I like to go live super early, and I am on Central Standard Time here in Texas. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So y'all in Las Vegas, that's 10 o'clock out here. You feel me? Don't miss it out, yo. Queen G is the bomb. Says thanks again for joining me on this conversations of greatness, especially about this one, mental awareness, not only in the rest of the communities, but in the black community as well, y'all. We don't forget about nobody. It's for everybody. We all deal with things, but it's okay to seek help. I'm dealing with something right now. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm spinning this thing. But it's all good, y'all. This is the whole point of this conversation, y'all. And I want to end it like this, how I always end everything. You gotta make sure that you smile, laugh, and definitely motivate, yo. And don't forget, inspire one to inspire all. And most importantly, we're gonna drop it like we always do.